All right, let's get this party started, the brute said, as the much more gangly and scrawny of the two stepped up from behind, widening his stance and getting a focused expression on his face. You know, that metal stuff you make is pretty impressive. In terms of versatility, I don't think I've seen anything like it. Able to shift and change it as much as you want, whenever you want. Honestly, I wish my power had that sort of aptitude. I'm a bit jealous, but I suppose my power's useful enough, especially in combination with this numbskull. I don't really like him, but his specific talents pair well with mine. It's an efficient combination, if nothing else, he said, before opening his mouth wide, and a very reminiscent feeling began to rush over me as I began to see a bright, colorful liquid pour out of his mouth. What? I thought to myself as I saw it rushing out in gallons. It was translucent enough, however it had a bright glow to it, a brilliant blue that seemed to beam out, filling the space with light, a powerful fluorescent glow. What the hell is that? This could be bad, Keven. By the looks of it, he has an exceptionally strong ability. He's a radical producer. A what? What the hell is that? I thought to Nylea. Radical producers are people who produce exceptionally powerful substances. Their body honed to produce chemicals and materials with exceptionally powerful advantages. The only limitation is that these substances tend to be one use only, meaning they will last for a span of time before they lose their power. But during the timeline in which this substance is used, its power is extraordinary. But our advantage is that they can't make more of it. They are able to stow a certain amount, and once that amount is expended, their powers have reached their limit, and they must wait to refill their stock. Their powers are not eternal like that of the king, but can generate effects that are equally, or even to a greater extent, much more destructive in nature. There's no telling what effects this could have. Serious? You don't know? There are several dozen different forms of radical producer. There's no telling which one this one is. We simply have to wait and see, Nylea said as the liquid continued to billow out from his stomach, pouring into the surrounding air, an absolutely massive amount of it, as it swirled in the air around him in a liquid state, similar to my liquid steel, only glowing brightly, before the flow finally ceased, and the guy with the glasses breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, that's all of it. About damn time, his partner shouted. Come on, let's get this over with. I'm ready to fucking go. Oh, shut up, you idiot. You're not the one who has to puke this stuff out. And remember, it doesn't exactly feel pleasant. It's like puking up boiling hot water. It sucks. Oh, quit your bitching. We gotta fight. So, let's do this, he said, extending his hand back towards the glassed individual. Fine. Just don't get too carried away, the individual with glasses replied, as a large amount of the liquid began to ebb and flow, swirling onto the arm extended out to the individual with glasses, clinging onto his body as it began to spread over it, rapidly beginning to cover his entire form, forming and taking shape around him. As it did, it seemed to form into armor that seemed to harden into a crystal-like appearance. Most of it gave off that same blue glow as it had before, simply looking like he was wearing armor plating all over his body. But certain segments, his knees, his shins, his hands, suddenly changed in color, the glow shifting to a bright red that emanated out from them as the swirling liquid finally formed a full set of armor plates that wrapped around his body. "Oh, that doesn't look good," I said as I stared at him, the helmet finally forming for his little outfit. It wasn't as detailed as my armor by a long shot, and it left a lot of gaps, but it would most definitely prove as an effective defense against anything but pinpoint attacks. And what the hell was with that shift to red? Why are those different colors? I thought to myself as the remainder of the fluid that was gathered around the other guy began to form itself into large plates that simply floated in the air, translucent so that you could see through them. About 4 of them that seemed to swirl, shifting around where he was, while 2 small red spheres formed in the mix, no bigger than a pool ball, but glowing that bright red. Defense and attack. That's the difference. The red must be for attack, and the blue is for defense. Yeah, now we're talking. Oh, metal dude, we are about to partay! You have no fucking idea what kind of a roller coaster you're about to go on. I'm gonna hit you so many times, you're gonna wish you had stayed home, twiddling your thumbs, he said as he clutched his fists tightly, the bright red glow around them intensifying. "Let's fucking go," he said as suddenly he was right there, directly in my face, his knuckles already impacting my helmet. I never even saw him move. As he hit me, it completely took me off guard, spinning back for a moment, whirling around to try to get a line of sight on him. And as I tried to, he was already gone. What the hell? At that point, I felt another impact, a slam into my back that took me off my feet, sending me flying a few feet in front. As I rolled across the ground, regaining my bearings, I finally began to see it. A blinding streak of movement, moving so fast that he was kicking up a small wake of dust wherever he went. It wasn't as if he was teleporting. He was just moving extremely fast. As suddenly his speed stopped and he pulled to a rapid halt about a dozen foot away from me. You see, heavy metal douchebag, my ability is to accelerate. My symbiote increases my perceptual capabilities so that I can actually see and perceive things at a much higher rate. And then using a mixture of physical enhancement and telepathic wave fields in my body, including ones that accelerate the vibrations in my muscles, I'm able to move at speeds that make every other symbiote look like they're standing still, he said as he began to pace around, starting to circle me. "Oh, isn't that nice?" I said as I formed a large swirling of liquid steel into orbs, the size of ping pong balls, dozens of them, and then in a single burst sent them out in a shotgun round, a smattering that pelted the entire area as he rapidly pulled up his guard, and I saw sparks of energy fly off of his body as numerous of the balls that I created impacted him, seeming to stop dead in their tracks, simply falling to the ground, his arms in a cross in front of his face. As the shots finally stopped, he lowered his arms. "Sorry, that isn't gonna work," the guy with glasses said from the other side, as my glance rolled over to meet him. "You see, my power is rebound. As I said, we make an effective combination. Those blue crystals that you see are completely impact resistant. Not just impact resistant, impact absorbent. Whenever they're hit by anything, they 100% nullify that impact, absorbing every ounce of energy that was placed into it, and reducing the force of whatever object that attempted to hit it to absolute zero. There isn't even enough force to actually damage what hit it, remaining afterwards.
You've got to be kidding me,
I said as I looked at him. But I'm afraid that isn't the worst of it, he said with a smile, as suddenly I felt an impact in my side, an exceptionally strong one. As it hit, it sent me reeling, my body tumbling end over end as I hurtled across the canal, flying to the other side and impacting the wall hard, cracking into it a bit as I hit. As I did, looking across to see that Speedy Gonzalez, or whatever the hell you want to call him, had hit me again. There seemed to be sparks of red energy coming off of the knuckles.
What the hell was that? He definitely did not hit that hard before.
You see, Heavy Metal, my power is twofold: absorption and release. The blue crystals absorb the force of anything that impacts them, but they don't just hold that force, they transfer it. Whenever blue crystals are impacted, the nearest red crystals immediately absorb the concussive energy of the attack. They sustain that energy until the next time they come in contact with something, at which point that energy is released. In other words, every time you hit us, or attempt to, the crystals will absorb the impact, and the next time we hit you, it'll be with our own force, plus all of the force that you tried to hit us with. With Brick's speed, he's able to land those hits with ease, and my abilities make him basically untouchable. Sorry, Heavy Metal, but this is the end of the road for you. You're not getting past us.